I am Ruby Falconer. Today's date is March 18th, 2022. This is a meditation and a contemplation on the spiritual meaning of the equinox. We have a tendency to identify with the experience that we have in our locality on Earth. For some of us, and I am one of those, this is the spring equinox. This year in 2022, it is exact at 11:33 a.m. Sunday, March 20th, Eastern Time. If you live on the other side of the earth, if you live in the southern hemisphere, this is the fall equinox. We are going in different directions. Those of us who live in the northern hemisphere are beginning to move away from winter. Spring is coming, new life. The daffodils are beginning to poke their heads through the earth. It's not quite as cold. It's kind of up and down. There's a hint of warmer days to come. The days are starting to get longer, and the nights are starting to get shorter. If you live in the southern hemisphere, your experience is exactly the opposite. The days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer, the days are starting to be cooler. There are warm days still, but they're interspersed with those feeling that winter's on its way. It's time to think about the things you need to do to prepare for the darkness, to prepare for the cold. Maybe it's time to check on your insulation, to put in firewood. If you have a garden, it's time to start thinking about harvesting that garden. For those of us that live in the north, maybe it's time to start thinking about putting in a garden. We're looking through seed catalogs and starting to order our seeds, preparing the soil. Spring cleaning is just around the corner. The days are beginning to get longer, the nights shorter, and there's a hint of the warmth of summer in the air. Our experiences are very different depending on where we live. But in truth, what's happening as citizens of planet Earth that are traveling on a planet around the sun, we are in a point of equalness. We all have approximately the same amount of light and dark in our day. We're at a point of a pause, a hesitation, a balance point. Whether we see this in terms of the new beginning of spring or the new beginning of fall, we're both in a place where we're saying goodbye to one phase and we're opening up to something new. And there's a hesitation here, a point of balance before we move to the two extremes that are winter and summer. Maximum dark, maximum light, depending on where you live on Earth. But right now, there is an equalness, a point of balance for a few days that circle around that point of the equinox, that exact point, 11:33 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time on March 20th, 2022. So how can we do this? How can we hold this sense of both being in the place where we are, the beauty of the birth of spring, the beauty of the birth of fall, letting go of the restriction of winter, saying goodbye to the expansion of summer. Those are unique to the place that we occupy on earth. They're different. But this pause, this hesitation, this experience of an equal amount of life, light and dark, that is the same, no matter where we live. Can we have this simultaneous experience of difference and sameness all at once? I would like to offer a little meditative experience to help support this process. So what I invite you to do is take a couple of nice deep breaths. Get yourself comfortable. If you're sitting up, put your feet on the floor. If you're lying down, just get your body comfortable. And take some nice deep breaths. All the way down to your fingers, all the way down to your toes. Exhaling fully. Feeling yourself dropping in. And I invite you to imagine a beautiful place in nature that is near a stream. And at this stream, which is a fast-moving stream, there is a tree. And this tree, its trunk, is split in half. And half of its roots are on one side of the river, and the other half of its roots are on the other side. Small river or stream. And I want you to stand there for a moment and look at this tree. And this tree is specific to where you live. If you live in the southern hemisphere, this tree still has its leaves. These leaves are starting to change. Winter's coming, you can see it. Maybe it's lost some of its leaves. But this tree still has the full bloom of summer all about it. If you live in the northern hemisphere, this tree doesn't have its leaves yet. Maybe there's some buds on it. Maybe it's getting ready to bloom and leaves will follow. But this is still a winter tree. But whether you live north or south, the trunk of this tree, the trunk that extends its roots on either side of this stream, that trunk is solid. Because that's the life force of this tree. And I want you to imagine now you can step into this tree and you can feel yourself standing there. That split in the trunk where the roots go on either side of the stream, that's your legs. And you can feel your legs connecting with the earth. You can feel the connection of your feet with the earth itself. You can feel the energy of your body, which are your roots that go all the way down into the earth. And you can feel how those roots collect up nutrients from the soil. The water, the stream that extends out into the earth all around on either side of the banks. You can feel the way the tree pulls that up, and it comes into your body and it goes up. It's going to feed those buds that are going to be blooming soon. It feeds those leaves that are getting ready to drop. This tree is in different places in its cycle, depending on whether it's a northern tree or a southern tree. But it's still a tree, solid and connected to the earth. So take a few deep breaths and feel what it's like to be this tree that is so connected to the earth. And extend your branches up into the sky. Nice deep breath. And now you become aware of this stream that is rushing through this split in the trunk of the tree. And I want you to imagine now that you can become the stream. You're not just floating in this stream, you are the stream. Feel what it's like to be a stream, to be tumbling along at one with the stream, becoming the stream, moving over rocks, moving around curves in the banks, allowing yourself to be guided by the earth so that you're moving here and there, but you're entirely fluid. Feel what that's like. Take a nice deep breath and allow yourself to be the stream. What is it like to tumble along, being the stream? And now take another nice deep breath and once again become the tree. Feel your rootedness. Feel the trunk of your tree, the roots of your tree going down into the earth on either side of the stream. Feel how connected you are to the earth. Be that tree. And now be the stream. Another nice deep breath. Be the stream. Feel your fluidity. Feel yourself moving along, tumbling over rocks, coursing down the banks, the way you're held in by the earth. But you're fluid, you're moving. You're not just in the water, you are the water. And now play with this. Go back and forth. Be the tree. Don't just be in the tree. Be the tree. And then be the water. Feel the difference between the two. They are different. Perhaps you like one more than the other. Maybe one is easier to be than the other. Maybe there's one you really don't like at all. Doesn't matter. Just do it. Back and forth. Play with it. Be the tree, be the water. Play with it. I'm going to be quiet here for a minute and let you play with it. And now take another nice deep breath and be both. Simultaneously, be the tree and also be the stream that is rushing through the split in your trunk. Be both at once. Don't forget to breathe. Can you do this? How does it feel to be both the tree and the stream simultaneously? the great challenge of the time we are in and the potential of the time we are moving into is to hold two opposing viewpoints simultaneously. The equinox provides us with the opportunity to be in our locality, to be at one with the changing of the seasons in our location, and to hold simultaneously an awareness that on the other side of the planet, north to south, the people who live in the opposite hemisphere are having an opposite experience. But we are all part of one earth. And whatever the people in the hemisphere that is opposite from us are experiencing is part of our experience too. Being able to hold opposite perspectives simultaneously is the great challenge of our time. And this time, this sacred time of equinox, provides us a body-felt opportunity to experience that, to anchor it in our bodies. For it doesn't matter if we live north and south, we are all experiencing something very similar. A very close to equal amount of dark and light. The ultimate opposites, dark and light. They are in balance. Doesn't matter if we live in the north or the south, unless we live in the extremes of the planet. But for much of the planet, this experience is very equal. This is a sacred body-felt experience. We can use it to understand the challenge and the gift we are given at this time. Thank you. Happy equinox, no matter where you live.